Hello guys, today we're gonna take a look at Reinier and Sonja. And why I'm gonna go through these heroes today is because Sonja might be the new option for free-to-play in the beginning and might actually replace Reinier. Because what's really interesting about Sonja, he has great abilities overall, but the most interesting one is the Crimson Covenant. When a battle starts, Sonja forms a Crimson Covenant with two allies placed to her left and right, prioritizing those in front of the attack, increasing their attack by 10%, and then also based on skill power, and also increases their physical and medical defense. And while it's active, the two allies gain extra attack and extra defense as well every 6 seconds. And it can stack up to times. So 36 seconds into the fight, they will have all the stacks that they need. And why this is so interesting is because you can buff two different heroes at the same time. Because you have the one on the left side and the right side. That's why it changes Reinier as well. Because with this, it's a really good buffer. And you don't need to use Stellar Crystals to get her. You only need to use your normal summons, but her is on banner right now. But if you're newer free to play, I still don't recommend you like going all in on her as she is, because this is not a free to play account. But you still need to establish your account, and you need your heroes overall to be really good, and you need those core heroes like Aaron, Lily May, Mikola, Odie, Shakir, Smokey. So you still want to go in and summon in the normal banner. But if you're a later free-to-play player and you don't have Reinier yet, I would recommend going Sonja. Sure, she's limited in some ways because, as we know, the Hypogeans or Celestial gives you a faction bonus no matter what, and they will adjust their faction to the one you have the most of, so we get the highest potential stats. And Sonja will always be a light bearer no matter what, so that's a bit of the drawback with Sonja. But compare it with Reinier. We know that he swaps adjacent allies position with the symmetrical position on the enemy face each other, so to be able to swap. And you need to get Reinier to Legendary Plus to get the hero focus, so you get some of the benefits with the heroes as well. Of course, you repositioning the enemy is always good as well with the Reinier when you're using the dynamic to swap. You actually don't get that much benefits until you unlock hero focus here, and also unlocking the tuned art, because here it changes the dynamic balance once again. Reinier deals damage to the enemy and knocks them down when casting dynamic balance, increasing their damage taken by 25% till the end of battle. And that's why Reinier is so interesting once he becomes Mythic Plus, because you get that bonus stat towards the enemy you swap in. That's why he's used so much in bosses, because it increases their damage taken by 25%. And then of course if you get him to plus 10, he also reduces the ally that you swap in with by 5% as well. So the ally you swap in takes less damage as well. But in bosses, for the most part, that isn't very used later on into the game. And we have to think more about the end game when we think about heroes like this. We are more in the end game than we are in the early seasons. Like the early season is just like the first month or so, and then you're getting into more mid game and late game of the season, because we also have to consider that we restart every season, kind of reset that you go back to the early game. But it's really interesting to compare these two, because with Sonja buffing, and later on she actually buffs herself as well. So she permanently enhances her Crimson Covenant after casting her first Tempest Frost, and the Tempest Frost is her ultimate. Instead of only gaining stats bonuses when a buffed ally is defeated, she continues to benefit from the accumulated stat bonuses while the buff allies are alive as well. So while the other allies get buffed as well, she buffs herself. And that plus 10 on the exclusive weapon reduces damage taken by 40% for a Covenant member if any other member is alive. Percent of the reduced damage is shared by other members, but this will not cause them to be defeated. That's also a really interesting part, that you can't get defeated if you share the damage, but it also reduces the damage taken by 40%. If any member is still alive. And if we remember the Reinier, it is 25% until the battle ends, but later on in the game you're so tanky anyways that you will have that 40% basically all the time, except some modes of course. I think for PvE it might be the call, and we might see it swapping around the priority of what Celestial you should go because of this. For example, now instead of going Reinier quickly, you most likely see people going Phraesto instead, because he's really strong. I've already seen great results on this on my own free-to-play, where I went Phraesto instead. And I'm actually gonna go Sonja on that account as well, but it's in the beginning. Actually swap over and we can compare. So we're now in my free-to-play. I've gone in on Phraesto a bit, as you can see. And I've actually used this chest I got as well from the code. We'll have Sonja here as well, but this account is not established yet, so sadly I can't go in on her banner. How I got her was because we got those free invite letters the other day sent to us. So that's why I went in and got a copy of her. But I still need to focus on the normal banner. And why I want to focus the normal banner as well is, like, if we check the A level here, it's 10%. Actually, the base rate is 3% to get them. But if we go into the normal one, we have 22.5. Base rate is 20.68. So you want to go in this in the beginning anyways, because getting A levels is really important to progressing your account as well. You need to get those heroes done, like the core heroes here. Otherwise, if I had the diamonds and this account was more established, I would probably go in on Sonja, increase her damage to see how good she is overall as well. We actually gotten some Primal Lord attacks in already, but I just want to some that has to do with Phraesto. I'm jumping into the Phraesto as well. So of course we have some level differences here. Oh, actually these levels are the same. Odie is the same level and Lilimi. So you can see only with Phraesto thrown in there, you already increased with 1.1 million. And this is on Alpha Bear when he's the Primal Lord. And here I swapped around a bit more and gotten the other levels up as well using Hand of Resonance. And actually managed to up 2 million more, so basically 3.1 million. Okay. Of course they got a bit more levels, but he's doing some really good results. Even at just Legendary, he's doing such a good result going in on the Alpha Bear. So performing better there would be really nice for free to play, because you wouldn't have a Reinier up now anyways. But I was lucky enough on this account to high roll him in the first 20 first roll for Celestial and Hypogeans anyways, so I just went all in on him. So I would actually have one copy less and he would probably deal a little bit less damage. I wouldn't have gotten that extra copy from there. But this is why you probably see the meta change around who you go as your first Celestial and Hypogean, because you can later on go Sonja anyways to use that buff, and then you can use your Stellar Crystals for something else other than Reinier. Like, having one Reinier copy around is still really good. But I kind of think that the days of getting him to Mythic Plus is kind of over. Because if you take a look at Noble Tavern, up into the wish list, like after getting some Rowan copies here, your Vala and Temesiap, like who are you gonna go? Like you can put in Sonja here, no problem. So we have to see how good she is and who you want to prioritize first. I'll kind of like Temesia. Maybe we replace the Vala? I don't know. Only time will tell. But what are your thoughts on replacing Reinier with Sonja in the early games of an account? I think she will be really strong. I've already seen some results in as well, where she increased performance a lot by just buffing my OD and Lily May, for example. But as always, thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.